Well, howdy everyone. Welcome to our little channel. I'm Sean. This is Sierra Kilo Prospecting. So we're doing the intro here after we've filmed all the video. This project took place over a couple months just because I had my hands full of life and everything else. But we built a header box for a power sluice project we're working on. So we're going to show you what that's about. So I hope you like it. I hope you'll stick around. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're an old timer, thanks for coming back. We appreciate the support. So show you what we got going on. Hopefully you like it. Maybe you'll find something you want to steal and put on one of your projects. Or if you don't like it, leave a note in the comments too. We like that as well. Always like hearing feedback from the fans and the subscribers and whoever else shows up. So thanks for checking us out. Hope you enjoy. All right, so our first step to get this thing going, before I've got these rivets that I've held this together with. You can see them right there. Everything that I was trying to mount was not sitting flush. So in my original idea, I had these little plastic pieces as sides. You can see where it was rubbing up against the rivets and whatnot. Decided that was a little bit problematic, a little bit extra. We didn't need that, so I'm pulling them away. But that's why we're going to remove these rivets. So after these are gone, like this guy right here, I started on this one already, got a little bit ahead of myself. Let's get that in focus. Yeah, there we go, that's better. I'm going to remove all this silicone. We'll have a nice flush surface, and we'll be able to mount our piece of angle aluminum there when it comes time. So yeah, that's where we're sitting. All right, let's play catch up really quick. So, been working on this over multiple days, jumping around here and there. That's what I do. Not the best videographer, if you will. Anyways, let's go see where we're at. So I've got our backing and our brackets made. They're all drilled out. They're ready to be mounted, bolted up. We also use the hole saw, and we got this this four-way set in. So now I just got to cut some PVC pipe to mount those. And then also I need to find a bracket that'll fit this. So I'm going to end up using like a fencing bracket or something that'll just screw into that or bolt into that material. And then we'll have that in place. Then we can work some nozzle sizes. We'll figure that out as we go. But ultimately, when we get to the back here, I'm going to take this. I'm going to figure out a way to mount this a little bit better. Hopefully those brackets will just hold it flush so it's not an issue. But then we'll put a ball valve on it that'll hook up to our pump, and then we'll have our water flow as things go down. And what I'm hoping is, so all this long run with nothing, and it's not going to catch anything, but hopefully it'll classify, like not classify, but it'll separate some layers. So our heavy layers will hit this, and then they'll run into our expanded metal and our miner's moss. And the light stuff will stay up high, and it'll blow on out the end of the sluice. Time will tell. We'll see what happens. But the sooner we get this thing finished, the sooner we can test it. So let's get back to work. Let's give ourselves a better view of that. So I kind of like to keep these pointed down so they're kind of hitting this. And then when I'm dumping my dirt in here, they're picking that up. That'll also keep things from floating away too much. I don't know too much about header boxes. So if someone's like, hey, that's a bad idea, hit me up in the comments. Tell me why. I'd love to hear, because I'm a noob at this. Because if not, I'm going to push them, I'm going to set them up like this, and then I'll strap them in. I was always thinking about building some reducers on here to keep the pressure up, and then angling them down a little bit. So we'll see. But I need to find some kind of bracket that'll fit over this, that'll hold this flush with the wall, because if not, this is just going to push forward and come out. So that's where we're sitting. I'm going to take a pause on it because I don't have those brackets right now. I really don't feel like leaving the house right this second. I'm going to do a little research. So we'll come back to it in a little bit. All right, good. Now that's checked. So here we are. Got our bolts in. Let's flip this around for a second, shall we? Get rid of my stupid face up here in the camera. So I don't know if you saw earlier, I had some longer bolts running outside of here. So we flipped those around. We're gonna keep the nuts on the outside because there's a little bit less clearance with these bolts in here. But for once in my life, I actually got the right length bolts because I didn't want big long bolts sticking out of the side like I had before. Because I had that size of bolt going through there. So that's way better. So anyways, our plate's in. We've got our hole drilled. So now it's on to the next part of the plan. All right, so post up a little short earlier. Also threw some stuff out there on the interwebs. How are we going to hold this little fella in place? So thought of a few things. So this is too close to the bottom to get a standard like U-shaped like pipe clamp or something like that. The place I went to only had 1-inch insulated clamps. Clearly, I'm not going to get one of those in there. So the answer lies in this little U-bolt action. So I'm going to drill some holes behind these little spots. U-bolts will slide on like so. We'll bolt them down. We'll keep this thing in place. So let's get that done. Okay, we got all of our holes drilled. Let's start rigging this thing up, see how it looks. So we knocked our camera over along the way. That's why you can get to see it. It was a little bit tighter than I thought getting it in, but like that'll work. So I'm gonna take these little fellas. Whoops, those guys right there. And we're gonna put them here on the back side. And we're gonna get this sucker bolted up. Now I haven't glued anything. I haven't properly started the plumbing. That's gonna be for a later video. I just want to get this thing mounted, see what it was gonna look like. Obviously, as you can see right here, that water's just gonna flow straight through. So I'm gonna adapt a fitting that'll fan that water across this space. And we'll hopefully get a nice even flow, because otherwise these things will be pretty useless. But that's gonna be for another video. Sorry, I keep coughing. It's a little cold in here. Anyways, let's get that done. All right, so I'm just rigging this up because I'm gonna have to pull this, like I said, and glue it and do all the plumbing and stuff. I just wanted to get to a certain point. These U-bolts, and they're a little long, so I think I'm gonna cut those down. You guys don't want to see that, but I'll put some flat washers on here as well with the lock washers. One thing I didn't know when I bought these, I should have looked at the ends were offset just a little bit, so I'm a little bit crooked, but I mean, it's prospecting gear, right? It's bound to be ugly. So yeah, probably gonna fill these in with some better bolts as well. I need to go figure that out, what that's gonna look like. Actually, I've got some. I might just continue to add these. Anywho, that's where we're at. And then on the inside, everything's sitting nice and flush. If we're looking down, we should get pretty good water flow pushing down into this area. That'll clean up all of our material. And then push it down into here. And then as we go down, I'll have my riffle, like my V-matting. I'm gonna put some V-matting, miner's moss, and then I've got some brand new expanded metal. So we're gonna build that up. I had riffles before, but they were trash. So we'll do a video when we finish that up and install. Yeah, so that's where we're at right now. Like I said, I gotta pull this thing apart. I'm gonna do a few like small touches. Definitely gonna plumb it. Like, I think I'm going to take some of this PVC and I'm actually going to flatten it so that way we've got a nice wide fan as we're going down. I'm going to do that in a later video. I'm just going to, this will be part 1, that'll be part 2. I'm also working on some legs for this sluice box, but we're making progress, so I'm pretty content with it. There's going to be some trial and error along the way. That's always what happens. But anyways, yeah, that's our, that's step 1, part 1 of our header box, if you will. Appreciate you guys tuning in. If you got any comments or anything you want to say about it, love to hear it. If you've built any of these before and you've got some advice, especially for our viewers. We don't have a ton of viewers, obviously. We're only at 60 people right now, but those of you who are tuning in and coming around, I appreciate it. Anyways, that's enough out of that. We'll see you somewhere else. Looking forward to getting part 2 up here pretty soon if we can, but thanks for sticking around. And then you also see I'm doing a video on these sluice legs as well, so we're working on that as we're working on this. So thanks again for tuning in. I'm going to stop beating my gums. I'm going to get to work. I got stuff to do. So good luck to you. We'll see you out there hopefully at some point. See you somewhere else. Thanks for tuning in.